Hey everyone, this is Ryan with thehomesteadconsultant.com. Today I'm doing a video on how to thwart your HOA. So generally I'd recommend not getting a home in an HOA. But in this case I've got a client who already has one, but we've got what you see behind me, an old playhouse. So we're gonna use this to our advantage. We're gonna raise a really quiet, really docile animal called a quail, and it can provide both meat and eggs, which is kind of an amazing way to provide food for yourself in a place where it's banned. This little playhouse was allowed by the HOA probably 15-20 years ago, so nobody's going to suspect it's sitting on the back of a property. It should give a lot of protection from prying eyes. It's back in the woods, so and it's also got electricity. So I'm going to go through this today, pull out all the things that aren't needed, get it ready for being a quail aviary, and hopefully get this client some really good, high quality, sustainable food. Here is what it looks like as I'm getting started. We've got insulated windows, insulated walls, electrical, actually a pretty decent, I think 20 amp electrical out to here. So we'll be able to put in some automated systems like fans or ventilation, and as well as heat lamps and things for the birds. There should be plenty of room to place feed barrels and other things that are needed in here, as well as give some structure, so little places for the quail to hide and lay their eggs, things like that, so that they feel comfortable and safe in this space. All right, I'm going to give a quick tour of this HOA, hidden HOA quail habitat here. First of all, we've got linoleum down on the floor now that's tacked up or stapled up on the sides of the building, and that's going to allow wood shavings to be put down on the floor here. And then I've got an area around the door so that you can open and close it without the wood shavings getting in the way. Hopefully the quail don't kick those up too much. We're not going to put them much over these 2x4s, so there will still be several inches before you get to the area where you could kick it over into the doors space. There's a fan permanently installed in the window. It's installed under an overhang, so that and it's on the side away from the prevailing winds. That should allow for an open window and airflow as needed during the summer. In the winter, we'll put like a piece of plywood or something in front of that fan, which we can fasten with the frame that's around the fan. It's been filled in with expanding foam there to keep any type of critters, snakes and things out, and there's also a screen behind that as well. This window is cracked open so that when this fan turns on, it can move air through the building and out. So it's coming in the bottom where there's going to be cool air and pushing out the top where there's going to be hotter air. This device is a thermostat that's intended for growing plants. It basically gives you the ability to say at a certain high temperature, turn on a outlet. In this case, it turns on our fan outlet. And then at a certain low temperature, turn on another outlet. So if it gets, say, below 50 degrees, the heat lamp will turn on. And we're going to use a ceramic bulb to make sure it can't start on fire. This is clipped to a screw to make sure that it can't come off of here. And then I've got a secondary connection up here where it is tied so that it can't come off. This is our thermometer for the thermostat that helps us keep things controlled in here. And then I've got a little space that's going to be elevated a bit above where the wood shavings are for the food and water. These are self-filling cups, so when there's water, they'll fill up and then they drop down, and it closes the valve. That way the quail are going to be able to get water, and this whole system will be up above the wood shavings so they can't kick wood shavings into their food or their water system. If you're wondering what this box is for, it's actually a little cage that will go on the floor. It will take up about that much floor space, and it's going to allow for small chicks to be integrated and grown out, essentially brooded in this space with the larger quail so that they don't get picked on and they don't get lost. So that's why we've got this box sitting here. It's going to be a basically an integration cage for the smaller birds. Tried to make it look a little nicer. We put in trim and things to cover some of the areas from ripping those lofts out to make it look nicer in here. Alright, I hope that gives you some ideas on how to skirt your HOA or other onerous government regulations in your area. So if you can't keep chickens but you want eggs and meat, consider quail. You could do this in just a little tough shed or in your garage. So there's lots of ways to do this. It doesn't have to be in an old playhouse, but if your HOA allows for, say, a tough shed or a small shed on the back of your property, now you have a place to put quail. You can do the exact same thing in that shed as I've done here. Obviously this is a bigger, nicer space than a little shed might be, and it's finished off nicer, but your quail would be perfectly happy in a shed. A lot of people keep quail in cages, and you can do that in a garage or even within your house. They're fairly small and low smell, low noise. So it's a great way to get meat and eggs without having to deal with your typical HOA or local government authorities, because nobody's going to see them, nobody's going to hear them, and nobody's going to smell them. If you are interested in seeing my other videos, check out Love Farm TN on YouTube. Just type that in, find our channel. There's lots of other great videos on there. And if there's anything that I can help you with, feel free to reach out at my website, which is thehomesteadconsultant.com. I'm happy to help people out. If you're in the southern Kentucky, Middle Tennessee area, or even some regions beyond, I'll travel. I can help you with on-site consultations and site design as well. So go ahead and reach out to me. I'd love to help you with that if I can, and I'd love just to connect anyways. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.